Mailbag time, Abby Barmore. What do you got?
Okay, let's go. Which corner has the best opportunity to take the second starting spot opposite Tommy Hill?
I would like to say, I mean, Bly Hill's out. So like we're gonna agree he's out.
We're gonna say Bly Hill's sidelined, which he is.
So the discussion is between Sierra Wright, Jeremiah Charles, or Malcolm Hartsock.
Dwight Boodle.
Those are your guys. And I think based on experience, it's probably between Sierra Wright and Hartsock. And I think a lot of it's going to be, how is Sierra Wright? Is he ready to play ball?
Yeah. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat where I just assume is Sierra Wright, because for one, I don't know if Nebraska would pursue him at this point if they felt good enough about one of those other two guys as a surefire starter, and if it wasn't an upgrade, or at least someone that could immediately push for that starting job. So I think the reason he's here, and probably one of the reasons they sold him on coming here, was that he's going to have an excellent opportunity to win that starting job. So right now, I'd probably put him as the front runner, or maybe one of the two front runners. So
along with
probably just Hartzog because of his experience.
Yeah, I would say Hartzog too. I'd like to take up for Jamal Charles. I mean, he's clearly in the conversation, square in the conversation. I mean, my main frame of reference was just a brief conversation with Rule during that camp in Omaha, where they had the camp on Amon Green's where Amon Green
Norris Middle School.
Norris Middle School. And I mean, Rule mentioned Jamal Charles and Hartzog very prominently, and I kind of had to throw in Boodle. So yeah, I'd say I'm going Hartzog probably, because of the experience. I think he'll just rise to the occasion. He didn't have I wouldn't say he had a tremendous year last year, and they do like him at safety, but I think he'll nudge out Sierra Wright for that job.
It'll be interesting because Hartzog, they've just moved him back and forth so much, and what they end up doing. All right.
It's dangerous to get caught in between. On the other hand, they move guys around a lot in the defense period. So
next question.
Okay, will Nebraska having grass in Memorial Stadium impact where they play the high school football championships?
It's a great question, because I have a hard time imagining a week where Nebraska plays Iowa on Friday and you play 6 games on Monday and Tuesday.
How do you do it?
So that'd be 7 games in 5 days.
How do you do that?
And tell me any field in America where 7 games are played in 5 days on grass.
I don't know that happens.
At a high level.
Right. I'm not an expert.
And my idea is this. The NSA will have to flex their finals and flex their season if they can. If they want to continue to use Memorial Stadium on years that Nebraska plays at Iowa, things are fine. Like this year, no problem, because Iowa's a road game. But on the home game, they're going to have to play the state finals after Nebraska, Iowa.
Oh,
could they do that? Could they play on Saturday and Monday?
I don't know.
I don't see why not.
I mean, would they do it? And one of the reasons you may not want to do it is because the winter sports season. There's essentially really only like a 3 week period to practice for basketball before you play a game. Well, if you're in the football finals,
right,
you almost only get 1 week of practice before you play a basketball game.
A lot of guys are doing that.
But Texas plays their finals deep into December. What do they do in Texas?
Yeah,
they have different weather in Texas.
But basketball players though are playing football deep into mid-December.
Yeah. Well, the grass, it's going to happen, and it's beautiful. I love it. I mean, I just love that they're going to grass. It creates that issue, but it's an issue you can deal with.
Yeah, and
it doesn't have to be a
right. There are ways to figure it out.
Yeah.
Or is it as simple as to say Seacrest will host it the years? And look, I know the venues in this state. The games have to be at one venue for Nebraska Public Media. For them to broadcast these games on television, all 6 games have to be at the same place, because there's over 50 people involved in these productions, and the truck and the setup. So Seacrest is probably the only place that has enough seating. I don't like Buell Field, Phelps Field at Westside. They're nice stadiums. I just can't see them being the permanent championship host with the parking needed and the other things needed. UNK, yeah, it'd be great, but I don't see Class A and B playing their finals in Kearney.
Right.
I don't think it makes sense.
Okay.
And Class A and B draw the crowds.
Yep.
So it's a tough decision. But the NSAA will have some time with their members to decide this.
Okay. Outside of Raiola, which freshman is most likely to get playing time this fall?
God,
Carter Nelson.
there you go. Don't overthink it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Yeah.
overthink it.
Barney, Ja'Cory Barney.
Ja'Cory Barney.
Oh, don't overthink it. Good point. Yeah, those guys. Those are the two.
Today, I think you would actually say Ja'Cory Barney has higher odds than Nelson just because we've seen Barney.
And the special teams angle too. Like
He's going to return kickoffs, it looks like to me.
he's the front runner as a kickoff returner at this
Yeah.
point.
Shavers is a guy to throw out there. Too.
Shavers.
Abby, that's why we have you here. That's a key.
Those are the guys.
Smart.
You just uncovered a key clue to the case. there.
Those are the guys. Those are the guys.
Now, finding who would be the fifth is probably the better question.
I don't know. I'd have to have the list in front of me. I need the list. I really do. Those guys really jump, though. It's interesting that the Barney Nelson conversation is interesting, if only because it bolsters the offense, in my opinion, significantly. They have Dylan Raiola has. I know it sounds crazy after last year, but he has quite a bit to throw to.
Does.
I always say they're not Ohio State. I'm not suggesting that. It's not like that, but it's much better.
Compared to last year with what they have to work with now, it's not even the same unit.
Yeah.
If Buschini struggles at punter, would Camden Cook get a look?
Sure, yes. The answer to that is yes.
So Camden Cook, I mean, and
Of course he
Buschini
would.
at his peak has been outstanding.
Cook has to prove it. I mean, I don't like to hand guys anything. I mean, he has to go in August and show he can do it. But if he does, yeah, of course he would be a guy. And what you hope is that Camden Cook or somebody puts pressure on Buschini. That's what you need.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be great if he can do that.
Okay, final question.
So we are celebrating our 500th Husker Online show. So what are a couple of your favorite memories from doing the show over the years?
You guys better take
Well,
the lead on this one.
couple for me. Number one, doing a show in Ireland.
Yeah.
But our Hawaii shows
Oh, yeah.
were outstanding to the point where people I knew thought our backdrop was fake because it was so incredible. And it's really hard to create a good backdrop with a web camera because the lighting and balancing gets thrown off. I mean, we had palm trees and pools behind us.
Yeah, pool. They thought it was fake.
I mean, it was that pristine looking.
Yeah.
So that was up there for me, just doing a show out there and, battling the time zone differences. Then
It was pretty wild. I got to say, Rob, it was pretty wild.
Yeah. I don't even think like that. What I always remember about these shows is what Sean was referring to earlier, the origin, the OG shows when we're in his basement and like little coffee table or whatever, bar table, and just how far we've come looking around the studio with our fancy backdrops and microphones and all that stuff. It's not the same show.
All I can think of is God bless Lisa.
full disclosure, the reason we have an office is
She didn't want us. Right?
I don't think my wife was too excited about having everybody in the house.
Nor would I be. Every week? Good God. You're
It was,
lucky you're
it
still
was
married.
early in the morning too.
Yeah, we did
Did
them.
tape at like 8 a.m.
Did you? Is 8 a.m. on
We were doing 8 a.m.
I thought so.
weekdays?
Yeah, because I do remember Matt Reynoldson, one of our, he was late a couple times on those early mornings.
Yeah. His alarm forgot to go off a few times on that one.
8 a.m. shows. That's interesting.
And we did when Carter Nelson announced we did the show live in Ainsworth.
That was memorable. Carter was live.
His coach,
That was
Jesse,
memorable.
yeah, that was a good
Yeah,
one.
Jesse was on with us.
And
Yeah, those are memorable times.
this show has led to other shows though. HuskerOnline headlines, and the post-game show. And the post-game show, guys, like we have just scratched the surface of what this is going to become.
Yep.
The viewership and the engagement that we get in this post-game show now is unlike anything I could never have imagined.
Hopefully, sometimes we can broaden it to do some basketball shows.
That'd be good.
But when we're getting 2,000 live viewers on a post-game show,
Yeah, and think if they actually start winning
Mm-hmm.
regularly.
Wouldn't
that'll be people feeding.
Because
you.
we had some uncomfortable shows.
Yeah,
We did.
it's like, well, Nebraska scored 10 points again in a loss. Talk
Yeah,
about it.
it would get kind of rough. I mean, I hope people understand we're kind of harried. It's you're I don't know. It's just kind of tense, you know.
The post-game road shows are hard because Nebraska hasn't
That's what I
won.
mean.
They
That's
haven't
what
won-
I mean.
They
That's
haven't
what I mean.
won a lot of road games.
Thank you.
And
Exactly.
and then we have to set up shop in that stadium somewhere and do a show.
And people aren't all that, like, it's not like they're in a great mood watching us, nor are we in a great mood, by the way. You know, we're thankful for what we're doing, but you got to discuss tough losses. It's not easy.
Well, being in the stadium till 1 a.m. and then having a 7 a.m. flight the next day, and then getting home, and
Nobody cares.
nobody cares.
They don't care. No
one's like, "Hey, go take a nap.
Yeah,
you worked
yeah,
all night."
yeah,
No,
no.
I mean, so like, it is a grind,
Yeah.
but we love it.
Yeah.
I'll say this:
Yeah,
we
we're
love
not complaining.
We're not complaining.
No, I look forward to it. Think about the Colorado game. How fun that's going to be.
Can't
Holy
wait.
God. I mean, I honestly can't wait. Sean's already said you got 30 minutes to write your column.
Yep.
Well, if they win that game or lose, but win that this post game show, there will be a line of Mexican restaurants that come up here with margaritas for Steve Sipple to sample on the air.
Oh, I don't want to picture it too much. Too good to think about here.
Let's not jinx anything.
Las Margaritas, El Toro. I mean, they'll all be up
Yeah,
here.
bidding starts now, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyone listening?
If they're listening.
It might be.
By the way, El Toro next week.
Yeah, we're going.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, it's on us.
And look, I've got some. There's better play. No, we know, but we have history.
What are
with
you
El-
saying that you're hearing from people?
Well, I had somebody tell me that that there's. I know there's other
Yeah.
places, but there's some history
It's
with
not
El
the
Toro.
best place, but it's our place. That's what
Rob.
counts.
It's history. All right, when we
going
come
The
back.
smile on Sipple's face when we walk through those doors is worth it to me.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Maybe we need a live show from El Toro.
Less probably.